It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, where we're looking at mostly sunny skies. It's currently 80 degrees at the airport, 79 here at the Radio Center, 80 degrees downtown Midland, downtown Bay City is looking at 79. Calm breeze, 29.95, and steady is the barometric pressure. That barometer is going to continue to drop as we move into the afternoon and more than likely drop down below the 29.5 mark as we go overnight and into the early morning hours tomorrow morning. Humidity level right now is at 62%, which it's a little humid out there, but not nearly as bad as what it could be. As far as our temperature of 80 degrees, we're one of the warm spots here in the state. Detroit is also looking at 80 degrees. Over in Holland, it's 80. Ionia, 80. Muskegon is the hot spot right now at 82. Oscoda looking at 80 degrees as well. Going through the day today, temperature will continue to rise. Not that much more, but still it will. We're looking for a high temperature of right around 84 with partly cloudy skies. It'll become a little bit cloudier as we go into the late afternoon hours. And then tonight, we'll pretty much cloud over and we'll see some scattered showers around, isolated, very spotty until about midnight. And then after that, we are going to come under the influence of the remnants of the hurricane. And it does appear right now as though we're going to have a prolonged period of light, moderate, and heavy rain. We're going to get some breaks in the rain shower activity. It'll come down hard in other times. Overall, we're going to be looking at quite a bit of precipitation. We've got amounts all over the board. But safe to say, I want to think that at least an inch of rain for everyone here, especially in the southern 2/3 or at least the southern half of the lower peninsula. And then the further south you get, the more rain you're going to accumulate. And there will be some spots here in the Great Lakes Bay area that will be looking upwards of 1 3/4 inches, very possibly 2 inches. Then you get a little bit further south and off to the east over in the thumb area where we could, eastern thumb area, where we could see some rainfall amounts of more than 2.5 inches. That's the reason why the flood watch is up, because obviously heavy downpours, low-lying areas, probably the hardest hit when it comes to precipitation. If there is any silver lining in all of this, it's probably because where we have been seeing a lot of rain over the past week to 10 days, those areas are not so much going to get hit hard. And I'm talking specifically northern Michigan and areas to the immediate north and west of Midland, where we have seen some rainfall amounts of well over 1 inch just over the past few days, ranging back into the weekend. Those areas are not going to get hit as hard with amounts of precipitation as what we will see in areas from Saginaw south, heading toward Flint and then down toward Detroit. That's where it does appear as though the heaviest amount of rain is going to be. The low pressure system is currently over southeastern Missouri. It's going to be moving into southwestern Indiana by late tonight, overnight, and then eventually across the extreme southeastern corner of the lower peninsula. So that puts us on the north side and on the west side of the track of that system. So if you drew a line, I guess probably the safest area to take a look at is if you drew a line from Bad Axe to Saginaw to Grand Rapids. Everything to the south of that line is going to see more in the way of precipitation than to the north of it. Again, exactly how much? Well, it varies from meteorologist to meteorologist. But the fact is, it is the remnants of a hurricane. It's not going to pack a lot of wind. It's not going to pack any severe weather. If there are any tornadoes out of this thing, it's going to be along the Ohio River. So we're not going to have to worry about that. We're just going to have to contend with a little bit more rain than we're comfortable with. Obviously, the effects on agriculture, well, we'll just have to see. But dry beans, as mentioned by some of our folks yesterday that have been scouting the fields, some of the dry bean areas are wet. The beans have wet feet, and that's one thing that dry beans don't like is wet feet. The other thing, the pickle harvest is going on. So some producers have been trying to get in the fields over the last 24 hours and start working on that before all of this rain hits. Obviously, with pickle harvest, you've got a real narrow window where you can go in and get them. Anything on either side of that window, your luck isn't very good. The other thing is the sugar beet crop. It does appear as though overall we're going to be just fine with that. We are going to be looking at a little bit more water than we would care to have, but overall I think we'll be okay with that. Wheat harvest, it does appear as though the wheat, quite a bit of it has come off so far, and in areas where the wheat harvest is not done, it looks like that's not going to be the heaviest area to be hit with rain shower activity. But still, the wheat is looking really good right now, and obviously it doesn't need all of this water. So what's going to happen? 84 degrees for a high today, spotty showers late, showers kicking in a little bit heavier and more consistent after midnight tonight, a low of 68. Then during the day tomorrow, we'll have periods of rain. 74 is our projected high. I might be a little, I'm not conservative with that. I think it is going to move up out of the 60s into the low 70s. Periods of rain, tapering off, then coming back, tapering off. But the taper off will really kick in late in the day tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night because of a high pressure system moving in over northern Wisconsin. And again, that will be late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. During the day on Thursday, clouds, sun, spotty showers will approach 80 degrees, probably 78 is a fairly safe guess, with a northwest wind gusting to about 20 miles per hour. That'll be on Thursday. Then on Friday, sunshine, 82 for a high, a very slight chance of an isolated shower Friday afternoon. Clear skies, though, Friday night, 62. Then on Saturday and Sunday, pretty much rain-free. Upper 80s to low 90s as we move into the work week next week. There still will be some chances of precipitation that will be moving in late in the day on Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. Record high in this state is 104, set back in 1936. The record low, 45, set in 1942. A year ago, 80 was our high, 56 was our low. Incidentally, the record amount of precipitation for a July the 10th is just a little bit better than an inch. That was set in 2003. I think it's a fairly safe guess that the airport will pick up more than that. So we'll probably break a record as far as precipitation tallies in a 24-hour period of time for a day. Obviously, areas to the south will pick up more than that. So the chances are pretty good. We're going to have a record-breaking rain tomorrow for a lot of our cities, especially in the southern half of the lower peninsula. The warmest ever, 9th of July, was set back in 1936. 104 was our high, 76 was our low. The coldest ever set back in 1963. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. We'll take a look at the markets in a moment, but first of all, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. They've got those Farmall tractors ready to go to get your work a whole lot easier for you. And depending on how much work you've got, they've got the right size Farmall tractor to take care of what you need. Anything from 35 to 140 horses. So you're talking the value-packed compact Farmall A all the way up to the deluxe compact Farmall C and C series with cabs. And right now they've got some special financing available for you as well on those Farmall tractors. So check it out. The tractor does it all. So no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and it is called Farmall. Find out more by stopping by Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. We say good morning to Abby Terwilliger over at the Andersons. Abby, how's things going today?
Hi, Terry. I wish we had record rally and not record rain coming our way.
Well, at least I deflected all of the ire of our farm crowd today.
Yes.
Took the heat off of you, I'll tell you.
Well, don't worry, it's coming. Yesterday, obviously not a great day in the market. Today, soybeans are down a little bit. Corn and wheat are kind of staying steady. Right now on the board, July corn 332, new crop 347. July soybeans 1150, new crop 1021, red wheat 495, and white wheat 550.
The reason why the markets are doing what they're doing?
We're getting timely rains. So they say it's helping the conditions. The conditions just went up a little bit. It's the best conditions in corn that we've had in 4 years, which I don't know if a lot of people really agree with, considering, pictures that we're seeing from out in the I states and that type of stuff. It's the lowest prices we've had since 2020. And I think a big one for corn that's affecting that is they're still saying there's 3 billion bushels of corn in the bins, and that equates to about 20% of what we harvested last year.
So at this stage of the game, we haven't factored in any of the mess that the remnants of the hurricane have given us so far.
Correct. So other than it giving us rains at the right time.
Yeah. At least that's what they're saying, at the right time.
Yes. Yeah. It's up to interpretation, I guess.
I guess so. Abby, you take care. Have a good day, okay?
You too, Terry.
All righty. A little bit more in depth as far as what our markets are doing. Over to Oppenheimer, we go with Doug Klein. The market report brought to you by Steiner Tractor. They share your enthusiasm for that antique machine of yours, and they know how to keep it running. That's why they do take their job personally at Steiner Tractor Parts, because they understand how your life and job both stop if that tractor stops running. Whether you've got work for it to do or you just want to show it off and make it look really nice, Steiner can help you out. 800-234-3280 or visit the website at steinertractor.com. And they also want to remind you that coming up July 12th through the 14th, it's the 36th annual Midland Antique Engine Association show. It's going to be at 3226 South Meridian Road in the Merrill area. That's about 7 miles north of M46 on Meridian, or 8 miles south of M20 on Meridian Road. And we'll be broadcasting our program on Friday, brought to you by the folks at Steiner Tractor. Market report also brought to you by the folks at Krizak's House Family Restaurant. You got an event coming up and you need to supply the food? Well, 989-894-5531. That's the telephone number. Or if you just want a great place to stop and dine in, you can do that too. Good restaurant, great people, very good food. Corner of Cass in Michigan on Bay City South Side. That is Krizak's House. We say good morning to Doug Klein. Doug, well, what do you think?
I'm just kind of cringe smiling right now. I don't know what to think, but Powell's talking right now, so he's saving the stock market for another day. Nasdaq hit a new high today. The S&P hit an all-time high today, both of them. Yeah, Deere hit a brand new low today, setting at about $350 a share, $350 a share. But back when like 4 years ago it was 160, and 15 years ago it was 25. So it's if you're a long-term holder in the stock, you're still way in the money. But I don't know. Recent purchases might be a little bit dicey. Also, Albemarle, which is not a company that you hear about much, but they're big in lithium, and they have just been buried alive. I imagine it's part of the electric battery shakeout that's still going on, causing bankruptcies throughout that industry completely. But crude oil's down a little bit, 81.30. That's better than 84.85. I don't know why gasoline took that jump yesterday for 40 some cents, but hopefully that's short-lived. Cross your fingers. And then Stiefel says there's a 40% chance that Joe drops out of the presidential election before the end. So I don't know if Stiefel's right or wrong, but that's their opinion, and I don't know if that's good or bad, because who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, so here's your numbers. The September corn is 397 and a quarter, up 4. December corn 411 and a half, up 3 3/4. August soybeans 1140 and a half, down 8 and a half. November soybeans 1085 and 3/4, down 13 and 3/4. The September wheat 574 and 3/4, up 4 and a quarter, and December wheat 598 and a half, up 4. Crude oil is at 81.37, down 96 cents. Heating oil is 253.86, down 4 cents. Gasoline 253.32, down 4/10 of a penny. Natural gas 241 and a half, up 3.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3640 Canadian. That's up a half a tick. The dollar buys 161.43 yen. That's up 62 ticks. The euro's at 108.10. That's down 12 ticks. And the dollar's at 105.18, up 18 ticks. Gold is at $23.7180, down $4.40. Silver's $30.89, down 2 cents. Platinum's at $9.96, down $17.50, and copper's at $455.90. That's down 6 cents.
All right. You have a good one.
Yep, you too.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today, and they're now purchasing organic soybeans delivered to the Reese location. So give them a call today. Along with me, Jerry Somolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. And Jerry, we still got some bugs out there, some insects that we need to take care of.
Yeah, Terry, the Japanese beetle is, I think this year is going to be a little bit different with the rains that we've been having, and now with the imminent rain we're supposed to get tomorrow. The soils are going to be really moist. And Japanese beetle likes irrigated turf or moist turf to lay their eggs in. So I think a lot of people that haven't had grubs in the past may have a very good opportunity to have them. So now is when you apply your imidacloprid or your Merit product on your lawn to help keep those eggs when they hatch. The little larvae come out, start feeding, and you'll get good control for the rest of the season. So this is prime time for that grub control, and that happens for Japanese beetle, that happens for European chafer, rose chafer, and as well as our June bug. All those are grubs in the soil that can eat and feed on your lawn.
Good advice. Yeah, and plenty of moisture on the way, so we're going to have some issues down the road here.
I think a lot of people that never saw Japanese beetle in their yard in next year when they grow up and hatch, I think you're going to start seeing them a lot more prevalent.
I think so. Jerry, we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
All righty.
Jerry Somolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. They've got great selection of products from Sure Crop and Nature's that'll help you increase your yields. And of course, certified crop advisor Vic Hupfer. He was on our air yesterday. He's been scouting the fields, and he's got a lot of information for you that if you've got any questions, he's got the answers. Serving you is their business, and they've been doing it since 1983. Freeland Bean and Grain. Let's talk a little bit about that weather coming up. I had a chance a little bit earlier to chat with Ryan Martin with Michigan Ag Today, and this is what he indicated to me that he thinks is going to be happening here over the next day or so, and even moving into next week.
First rounds of moisture from Barrel probably show up here as we move into early afternoon. And then the moisture threat continues to ramp up, moving through the overnight and through the first half to 2/3 of a Thursday. We are on track to see some of the heaviest rains out of the remains come through lower Michigan. I'm looking right now at anywhere from 1/4 to 2 inches of rain, with coverage at 100% of the lower section of Michigan. UP probably escapes with nothing. And if you go from I-96 south, that's where the heaviest rains are going to be in lower Michigan. Some big time rain potential. 2 inches is the top end of my range, but it could honestly be more than that depending on where you are at. So some significant moisture coming through. These remains are out of the area probably by late afternoon tomorrow. And then we'll settle in with some drier weather for Thursday. Thursday should be partly to mostly sunny, humid, so we're not seeing exceptionally fast drying, but no new precipitation. Friday also humid with a few pop-up thunderstorms down in southern lower Michigan midday and afternoon. Saturday should be dry. Sunday dry with the exception of a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Then we go into next week. Monday, hit and miss scattered showers, coverage around 80% of the state. Tuesday is going to be dry to start, but pop-up showers late Tuesday night going through Wednesday can again hit 80% of the state. So I think we have plenty of chances for moisture off and on from late week through the weekend and early next week. That will be just the right amount. The question is, how long does it take to see some of these heavier rains that we see over the next 24 to 36 hours move through our soil profile?
A lot more coming up here. We're going to take a look at see what's going on that maybe you should be aware of with Craig Voorhees from the Rummel Agency. He joins us right after this.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning up the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
Let's talk a little bit about home fire safety and some of the things that can cause some fires. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency joining me right now. And what do you think, Craig?
Well, I think it's an odd topic given all the precipitation we're about to get, but it still needs to be on our minds. I know of a home that was recently completely destroyed, as well as damage to their neighbors' houses because of a fire that they had in their backyard. Didn't get extinguished completely when they went to bed. It rekindled, caught the deck on fire, and completely destroyed their home. Fortunately, everybody got out safely, but we don't want to see that happen to anyone. So make sure you got those backyard fires put out. Make sure the lawnmower gets a chance to get cooled off before you put it away. Maybe even get out the leaf blower and blow the grass clippings off of it just to take an extra step. It might seem like it's a little overkill, but you don't want to be waking up at 2 a.m. with your smoke alarms going off.
Good advice. Craig, you have a great day. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Sounds good, Terry. Thank you.
All righty. How many of you have been approached or heard about someone that's been approached about putting the electric grids in the backyard on the farmland? A few more folks than you might think have been approached.
More and more farmers are being sought out by solar energy companies looking to lease their farmland, and the offers are getting pretty high. The Purdue University CME Group Ag Economy Barometer surveys 400 U.S. ag producers each month. For the past several months, the survey has asked farmers if they've been actively engaged in discussions with any companies about leasing farmland they own for the installation of a solar energy project to generate electricity. April and May saw slightly higher yes responses, but June had 16% of respondents say yes.
And 1 out of 4, approximately 27%, said they were offered $1,500 per acre or more.
That's Dr. Jim Minter, director of the Purdue Center for Commercial Agriculture and principal investigator of the survey. He says 69% of those were offered over $1,000.
That surprised me. I knew enough to know that there were some people being offered rates above $1,500 because we'd heard about it. I didn't expect it to be.
No, I didn't think it'd be 27%. And just to remind those that are not as familiar with the rental market as other people, this is several multiples of cash rent.
And there at the end, that was Dr. Michael Langemeyer, Associate Director of the Center for Commercial Ag, who joins Mintert on the Purdue Commercial AgCast to discuss the results of the Ag Economy Barometer. They knew this solar topic was a hot one in Indiana, but
the nationwide aspect of this has kind of got me a little bit befuddled. And I think one of the issues for us is we don't have a good grip on how many acres have been contracted, for example, here in Indiana or the Eastern Corn Belt.
Very interesting information. Speaking of interesting information, Teresa over at Baird & Company joining me right now. What's going on in New York, Teresa?
Good morning, all. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 51 at 39,293, 224 million shares traded. NASDAQ is up 46 at 18,449, 351 million shares traded there. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar at 328.10, down 96, Deere 348.96, down 604, CMS Energy 58.93, up 23, Dow 52.20, down 60, DuPont 78.99, down 48, Corteva 51.31, down 41, General Motors 46.56, up a penny, Trinzio 214, up 9, Walmart 70.14, up 46, Huntington Bank at 13.04, up a nickel, Independent Bank 25.89, down 7, and AT&T at 18.88, up 7.
You have a great day, Teresa.
You as well.
Take care. Teresa DeVoe over at Baird & Company. The latest Michigan crop weather progress indicates that the soybeans, about 5% are rated poor to very poor. Winter wheat is only 1% in that category. Corn, only 1%. The dry edibles, about 8%. And sugar beets, only 2% are rated poor to very poor. So as of right now, the crop looks really good here in Michigan. Back at 12:30 with an update, so you stick around for that. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coins in Bay City at 602 North Euclid Avenue.